Hey guys, this is the spoiler-free version where I'm just going to be talking about the tone and the pacing of the film. Both things that I felt like had a lot of issues, and I feel like they're pretty easy to explain without worrying about plot details and stuff like that. So to start, I want to start off with the issues that it has with tone. Now, one of the biggest problems is you have a lot of different movies that came out, and each different movie has its own tone. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy is more upbeat, kind of funny, and it had more of a playful tone to it. But most of the Iron Man films were kind of gritty and more down to earth, for lack of a better term. Oof, that's a terrible joke. Anyways, you have these films that they kind of match wavelengths. So if you watched any of the Iron Man movies and you watch the Doctor Strange movie, they're both kind of serious and they kind of mesh. If you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and if you watch the last Thor movie, both of those mesh pretty well. And one of the things that they do in the movie is they try and stick to each character's movie's tone. And as you can imagine, not all those tones mesh super well. Guardian of the Galaxies and Thor's, like I said, they work well when those characters are on screen with each other. It's funny, it's fun. But when you take something like that and you mix it with like Iron Man or Doctor Strange or even Captain America, Captain America is just full on grit and uh, realism and just we got to get this done and save the world and no time for jokes is Captain America. So when you have all that and you mix it, it doesn't mix well. And the more characters that are from different like styles of storytelling, the worse it gets. You have, I'm sure you've seen the commercials at least, so you'll know that Spider-Man's there and Spider-Man makes quips, and they don't really work all the time because they feel more forced. Because when you're around specific characters, you're not bouncing off anyone. You're kind of just like, and it doesn't come out well. And then there's the problem with character development. Again, a lot of characters, kind of hard to do this right, but there were so many characters that you had this problem that affected pacing, which I'm going to talk about right now, so I can hit those two birds with that one stone. This isn't scripted. I'm just like doing this so that way I can get this out on time or in a timely manner. So with the character development, it affects the pacing because there was so many characters that having them all have enough focus is hard, especially when most of them are in different spots. From all the last movies, almost none of them are together. The only people that we know are together before Infinity War is Hulk and Thor, and those are the only, and Captain America and his West Side Avengers. But aside from that, everyone's all on their own. And since they're all on their own, not since they're all on their own, but since they're all separated, we needed enough time with each of these characters. The problem was every movie got its own amount of character development in the film. Now, when you have a film, you want peaks and lulls, but you don't want them to be too severe to... It's like a roller coaster. You're not just going to get on, go bop, 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 up, down, like go high as you can, low as you can, high as you can, low as you can, high as you can, get off and go like, yeah. No, you want a good mix. And with this movie, they did not do a good mix. There was a lot of cases of high action and then, oh, this character needs development. This guy needs a little backstory. We're going to slow down. And at first, it wasn't bad because it was decent enough. It was, oh, action, character development for this character and this character and this character. But then it got to the point where they were like, okay, we're running out of time and we need to we need to action, character development. And it was hitting again and again. And it was just not great. There were so many points in the movie where it's like, oh, I'm excited and I'm ready, and then bleh, slow down, watch people be, schmoozy and stuff. And another issue with that was you really never knew how much time was passing during any of these events because so much jumping back and forth leaves you really confused. Because there are things it's like, oh, this battle or this talk, it's like, it seems like it only takes this amount of time. But if it's moving along in time with this thing, then it doesn't really, like, what's going on? How much time is actually passing during every individual moment? It's really hard to keep track of any of that. And it's really hard to keep track of most of how they're, like, responding with one another, just because there's so much going on. Now, it's something that you can't really avoid when you have such a big cast and you're trying to cover all of them, but it is a problem. It really sullies the movie, and those are two of the reasons that I can say without spoilers that the movie just did not catch me and it didn't really work. And next two videos are going to be one consistent of completely spoilers, talking about Thanos and the Infinity Stones, because that's like the majority of the really big issues. And then it's going to be another video talking about the comics and where it came from and what it could have been, which is going to be somewhat spoilers, but not much. Anyways, this is just for close friends and stuff, so I don't even have to worry about doing all the YouTube shit. Peace.
Nice.